This lesson learned was a lesson because I am a country pilot right now. I mostly fly non-towered airports, and so talking to towered airports makes me a little nervous. I'm not as familiar, not as comfortable with it. I hear other people talking on videos are like, "Oh yeah, I only fly on towered, and I don't like talking to other pilots." Um, I much rather talk to other pilots because a lot of them are idiots like me. But the professional ATC folks aren't idiots. Anyways, nobody's idiots, but I'm just saying that's the way I feel. And I landed big city of Boise, coming from Buell, and hung out there. Went to a conference, came back, and you're trying to remember all of your training, and you dial up clearance. You tell them, I have information Bravo or whatever weather information that you got. You try to sound like you know what you're talking about, and then they hand you over to ground, and ground guides you out of there, and go to this taxiway. And they were doing construction, so I went one way, and then wasn't, and then they're asking, okay, what's your heading? And I had announced that, okay, I'm going to depart to the west. And I thought that was what they were asking for. And they kept, so what's your heading? And then I thought, well, maybe they're asking, like, I'm confused and don't know where I'm going around on these taxiways. And so I'm just trying to find taxiway L or whatever. They're like, what's your heading? I could tell they're getting frustrated with this idiot. And then I'm like, oh, maybe heading is not just west. Maybe they want to know 090. So I said 090. Thank you. Like, okay, that's all they wanted. I probably should have looked at for flight and known exactly what heading I wanted to go, because it wasn't quite 090 I wanted to go. It was probably, yeah, it was not 090. It was close. And so at that point, I knew I'd told the tower that I was going to, my course was 090, so I was going to stay that way. And then eventually they would let me go and I could deviate. So yeah, take off and stay on my course, even though I wanted to be over here. But I knew well, I didn't tell them that, so they weren't going to expect me to go that way. So stay your course. They actually did reroute me a little bit because they needed me to turn 30 degrees to the right. I did that, and they said, resume to your course. I'm like, well, I don't really want to, but I went back to 09 because I was done making a fool out of myself. And then finally I got out of the airspace, and they said, okay, now I can veer off. But yes, lesson learned. Be more prepared to know exactly what heading, not just west, east, south, whatever, the compass heading that you're going to head when you're flying out of a towered airport and talking to the tower folks. Lesson learned. Still don't feel totally comfortable talking to those folks, but anyways, they're just normal people like me, except less of an idiot. All right, lesson learned.